Anyone lucky enough to have gone on a hunt with the late GCF Dalziel knows that they've been guided by the best. Working out of his famous camp at Blue Sheep Lake in northern British Columbia, he led hunters into the mountains for many years in pursuit of the best of the high country wildlife. The record books for moose, grizzly bear, caribou, mountain goat, and stones sheep are filled with the names of hunters who were guided by this legend of the outdoors. Dal himself harvested record stones sheep in 1964 and in 1965, which are still in the top 10 sheep ever taken. One of the hunters who was lucky enough to be guided by Dal was Bob Hansen of Arizona. On his first hunt with Dal in the spring of 1970, he took a record grizzly bear and a record black bear. Bob still remembers every detail of his hunt with Dal, noting that the great guide knew every inch of his territory and every move of the animals they were hunting. When Bob and his wife Arlene, both life members of the Wild Sheep Foundation, conceived the idea of creating an award for outstanding guides, they immediately decided that it should be named for GCF Dalziel. Dal had distinguished himself over a long career, particularly as a sheep guide, and today's guides will be honored to be connected with an award named for such a professional. To be considered for the GCF Dalziel Outstanding Guide Award, the following must be demonstrated: a deep commitment to high ethical standards and sportsmanship, the esteem of the hunting community and his or her peers, consistent willingness to go the last mile to ensure a quality hunting experience for his or her clients, knowledge of the country and the wild game animals inhabiting that country, an unfailing sense of humor, a work ethic, and a dedication to the health, safety, and well-being of his or her clients. In other words, be a lot like Dal. The great outdoors, magnificent creatures and breathtaking surroundings, the experience of a lifetime. These great hunts are made possible by dedicated guides like GCF Dalziel and the winners of the award that bears his name.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the GCF Dalziel Outstanding Guide Award, Wild Sheep Foundation Director Tony Caligari.
I know you all are tired of hearing this, but thank you again for being here in person. It is great to see you all, and the Wild Sheep family appreciates your support so much. Thank you again. You know, there's a saying, where hunting happens, conservation happens. And nowhere is that more true than in sheep hunting. But without guides, there wouldn't be any sheep hunting. Sheep hunting's an addiction, and guides are our enablers in a good way. They are the unsung heroes of this great sport that we are all so passionate about. They get us safely up and down the mountains. They act as backcountry cooks, makeshift gunsmiths, emergency horse vets, Jeep mechanics, crisis counselors, human pack mules, morning coffee makers, cheerleaders, and engaging conversationalists, even when they really just want to tell us all to just shut up for a while. They are truly the men and women who perform the behind-the-scenes, unglamorous task in this glamorous arena that we all call sheep hunting. They get little recognition and silent applause. As you saw in the video, Bob and Arlene Hansen were determined to rectify this lack of recognition and founded the Dalziel Award in 2001 and have sponsored it every year since. Sadly, we lost Bob in August of this last year, but I had the great honor of serving on the board of directors of the Boone and Crockett Club with Bob and have called Arlene and Bob friends for many years. Arlene is at home in Arizona watching us on the live stream, and I know she wishes she could be here with us tonight, and I know she sends her heartfelt love to everyone. Bob Hansen was a graduate of Yale University and served as a captain in the United States Army. And Arlene and Bob were married for 49 years and were true soulmates. They were each other's favorite hunting partners, and they hunted and explored together on all 7 continents. They raised their family in Wyoming, and it was a grand place for a couple as conservation-minded as Bob and Arlene. They had a wonderful way of presenting this award, And if you remember, Arlene would give out those little clues and stories and tidbits of information that led up to the unveiling of the winner's name. So I'm going to steal a line from the movie Forrest Gump. I'm not a very smart man, but I'm smart enough to know that I can't do justice to the way that Bob and Arlene presented this award. But I would like to dedicate the presentation of this award tonight to Bob's memory and thank him and Arlene for everything they've done for wild sheep and wild places and for creating this award. So let's get on to finding out who tonight's winner is. I'm going to show my age a little bit. I've hunted with 8 of the Dalziel and Galata award winners, and I never got to hunt with this guy. And if you spend 10 minutes with him, you know that's a regret for me, because I think I'm probably too old to go on a backpack sheep hunt anymore, but I really missed the opportunity, because I think I would have had an enjoyable 2 weeks with him. So tonight's winner guides in one of the toughest environments in North America, in a place that can be as barren and inhospitable as any place in North America. You wonder how a sheep or a sheep guide or anything else can survive there to start with. He's one of the most experienced guides out there that are still actively guiding. He's still doing it at an age when most have hung up their binoculars long ago. Tough does not begin to describe him. He began his guiding career at a time when blue jeans and flannel shirts and rubber moccasins were the only gear available, and he often spent days on end soaking wet, plying his trade in the rugged Mackenzie Mountains. First hint: when waterproof, breathable hunting gear arrived on the scene several years back, he put it on and never took it off, earning the name Aquaman to his peers and fellow guides and hunters. His gentle manner and patience has enabled, there's that word again, enabled his hunters to 149 rams. That alone is a tremendous accomplishment. He was the very first one who took Travis Malner on his first sheep hunt. And if you've watched that unbelievably well done Yeti-produced video on Arctic Red River Outfitters, as I watch it about 10 times a week, it seems, you'll recognize that story of Tavis going on his first sheep hunt. And after all these years, he's still at Arctic Red. So folks, tonight I present you this year's Outstanding Guide Award winner, one of the true gentlemen and class act in the sheep hunting world, Alan Klassen. Now that we know how much he loves hunting gear and we want to keep him coming back to the show, we've got a nice, generous floor credit allowance for him for next year, so he can buy a whole bunch of gear and take it on back to the NWT for the guiding season. Al, congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you. Wow, crazy. A lot of people out there. Yeah, I just want to thank Wild Sheep and everybody involved with it, how I got here, and yeah, that's about it for tonight. Thank you.